This is a little bit freeform, but I thought what I'd do is a couple things. I want to talk to you about how to use your heart rate with training, and then I want to talk about two different kinds of fitness. And I'm taking the opportunity of this being a very fit audience to really explore these topics in more depth than I normally do. So one of them is going to be what I kind of think of as deep fitness, which used to be called base training. And the other one you can think of as peak fitness or intensity. And there's an ongoing debate in the physiology literature about the difference between steady state base training and intensity, and I wanted to address that because I think it has enormous relevance for everybody as they get into shape. And one of the interesting things about talking to a group that has a lot of very, very fit, sort of hardcore people in it is, to those people who are not, it's the exact same talk. The difference between a couch potato and an Olympic athlete is a question of degree, not kind. There's no fundamental difference between those two people. It's a function of one has been doing it, the other one hasn't yet started. And we'd like to get everybody started. Then I also want to talk about recovery, which I think is the third major piece of the equation in terms of really getting into shape. What I'm going to skip is all the strength training stuff. It's a wonderful topic, but it's different than what we have time for tonight. And there's a great DVD we just did called Come Back to Fitness, which is about how to use a heart rate monitor. And let me start with that basic concept. Heart rate monitors are really interesting in terms of getting people to really buy into them, because they're neither incredibly simple nor incredibly complicated. And so it's hard to get the casual user to do it because it's complex enough that it's a tiny bit daunting to get involved with it, and to know exactly what to make of those numbers gets a little bit confusing. But if you're willing to put in a modest amount of effort to understanding what your heart rate is actually measuring, what the changes in your physiology and your body and your health are at different heart rates, it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. And so the Come Back to Fitness video really goes into the basic reason behind a heart rate monitor and how to use it. And I've left a copy of that with the people here at Zenergy. And it's going to be available for loan to anybody who wants to take a look at it over the course of the next few weeks or months or whatever. So I'm not going to go into the details that are covered in that. I'm going to come right now into these different types of fitness. The heart rate is the best way to guide yourself in training. It's not the only way, but it's the best single way. So assuming that you have a heart rate monitor, or that you're going to get a heart rate monitor, and you understand how to use it, the question then becomes, if you want to get into good shape, if you want to get aerobically fit and get the extraordinary health benefits that come with that, what's your best road there? And the health benefits, as I touched on briefly in the talk on Wednesday, are really turning out to be extraordinary. The risk of Alzheimer's is 40% lower in a fit person than a sedentary person. The risk of heart attack in the most fit people is 1/4 that. In the least fit, the risk of stroke scales accordingly. The risk of cancer falls with fitness. The risk of depression is cut in half. So in terms of the quality of the life you want to lead, being fit, it seems to me, is sort of it's a requisite. It's a platform on which to live your life. And I think being in good shape and enjoying all of that is just a side effect. I actually think that health is the real benefit of this, and fitness, as fun as it is kind of an unanticipated, wonderful side benefit.